Welcome back, amigos. Today we're making some baked potatoes stuffed with shrimp and sirloin steak tips on top. As always, we're going to start off with our ingredients. Today we will be using 1/2 cup of half and half extra virgin olive oil, salt, 8 tablespoons of butter. Ignore the garlic unless you want to use that, but I didn't incorporate this into mine. Recipe: 4 Russet potatoes, 4 cheese mix of your choice, and some sirloin steak tips. First things first, we are going to make sure you have scrubbed your potatoes and dry them through with a towel. Then we are going to poke holes all over about 5 to 6 times with a fork. Then you are going to rub the potato skin with a little bit of olive oil and sprinkle a generous amount of salt all over the potato. Once your potatoes are nicely covered, you are going to bake these for 45 to 60 minutes depending on the size of your potatoes in a 400-degree oven until you can easily pierce through with a knife. Now you are going to cut your sirloin steak tips into decent-sized cubes, to your liking, of course. Then into a bowl we are going to season this with Brazilian mix marinade, of course, and a little bit of olive oil. Then we are going to give all of that a good mix. Once everything is nicely incorporated, we are going to set this to the side. Now for the shrimp, you are going to season this with the garlic and wine seasoning, Tony's Creole seasoning, Italian seasoning, and a pinch of Adobo seasoning. Okay, now for this part, we're just gonna have to go in with a story time because I went into this with my intentions of coming out with a bomb-ass sauce or a bomb-ass creamy cheese type of sauce to go on top, as you can see in the display. But what had happened was the potatoes took super long to cook. Of course, I should have known. I started the sauce way too early and I left this on the stove, so the sauce had thickened way too much. Or honestly, I think I put too much cheese, but I definitely don't think I put too much cheese because as you can see at the end of this, it just turns out the perfect consistency. And after a few minutes of just sitting there and I allowed it to also warm up a little bit, it just did not come out the way that I wanted it to. So we're gonna have to pause on the sauce for right now, but don't worry, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna have a bomb-ass sauce recipe for you guys that you can incorporate into a bunch of your meals and not just this potato. So have fun just watching this video and listening to me talk and explain how I messed up the recipe for this. So yeah, BRB. After you have waited 5 hours for your potatoes to cook, just kidding, maybe 60 minutes. But after you've waited for your potatoes to cook and they are now softened, we are going to scoop out the potato guts and put them into a bowl and make our filling. sometimes I don't have the patience that is required in cooking. As you can see from this video, I was just rushing through to get this potato guts out, and this was really hot, so don't do that. Maybe allow this to cool off for a little bit before going in and scooping out the potatoes, because this was just not fun. This burned my fingers, and just avoid all of that. So now into your bowl, you are going to mix your half and half butter, cheese mix, and shrimp that we beautifully air fried, and give that all a good mix. As always, season to taste. I added a little bit more of the Tony's Creole seasoning and a pinch of adobo. Once everything is nicely incorporated, you are going to then add your mixture into the potato skin. I love how everything actually fit perfectly into every potato, even though I added the shrimp and a little bit of that heavy cream. Once you have fully stuffed your potato skins, you are then going to go in and also top that off with your cheese mix right on top. Then you're going to pop this into the oven for about 5 to 7 minutes until your cheese is nicely melted and crispy. It's actually crazy how in the video this looks perfect and the cheese does not look how I'm explaining it to be, but just trust me. Voila! This is what you should get, and we are going to, as always, plate this on our lovely black plates and add our steak tips right on top, followed by our clumpy failure of a creamy cheese sauce that I made. Wah, wah, wah. Adios, amigos. Let me know how it goes if you try this recipe, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next video.